The Boston Celtics made an impressive statement in Game 1 versus the Toronto Raptors by controlling the game from wire to wire and winning easily by 18 points. Raptors fans shouldn't hang their heads just yet, as they generated plenty of opportunities they simply couldn't cash in on. But the Celtics didn't take anything for granted and used a commanding advantage from the three-point line to virtually guarantee them a big win. Over the last 2 seasons, teams that score 7 or more three-pointers than the other team win 81% of the time. And the Celtics not only nailed 17 threes compared to only 10 for the Raptors, but Boston shot 43.6% from behind the arc. This was a bit out of character for a team that ranked 13th in three-point percentage during the regular season. Let's examine a key run at the end of the first quarter that blew the game open and served as a microcosm for the whole game. On a simple pick and roll out top, Kemba shows a three-pointer but then hits Robert Williams rolling through the lane. As the weak side defender, Siakam is supposed to bump down and try to take away this pass. This never happens and it's a dunk. While posting up wasn't a high-use attack for Siakam in the regular season, it's become much more of a focal point in the playoffs. He's not incredibly efficient at it, and he was clearly pressing, trying to do too much. It wasn't hard for Smart to goad him into the easy offensive foul call. The Celtics run their basic motion set to reverse the ball to the left side. Van Vliet lets Kemba go to the weak side in order to help, but realizes quickly he's behind the play. There's some leg-to-leg contact here. That could have merited a whistle, and I think the ref was still thinking about that when he blew his whistle on a play that had almost no contact. Which brings up one huge issue that plagued the Raptors early: fouls. They were whistled for an unheard of 11 personal fouls in the first quarter alone. And no one suffered more from these calls than Pascal Siakam, who clearly lost his rhythm and emotional equilibrium by all the foul calls. The collision on the screen was let go, but the little bit of arm flailing later was called, I'm sure making it confusing for the Raptors defense. And his third foul call seemed to trigger the whole team, as they asked for a review and Nick Nurse got a technical foul while the refs rewatched the play. Everything looked clean down below where you'd think the foul would have occurred, but it turns out Siakam hit Brown solidly on the elbow, a no-brainer and a play Siakam should have told Nurse not to waste their review on. Of course, most of the calls were fine. Gasol had too wide of a base for the screen and uses the elbow as well. And this closeout by Lowry is an interesting case since there seems to be enough contact to warrant a call, but Lowry and Nurse were more upset than usual. And the very next play, Gasol gets beat easily, lets Tice go, but an inexplicable whistle gives the Celtics an and one. It got to the point where the Raptors were complaining on the most obvious of foul calls as well, as they clearly had become rattled. Down 8 early, they try to get Siakam going with the double ball screen. This just isn't the best decision to shoot an early three off the dribble with Williams close enough to contest with his long arms. The Celtics come right down the court, get it early to Smart, who comes off this ball screen and doesn't hesitate for a second. I thought this was pretty audacious, but then researched to discover that Marcus Smart shot 40% from 3 off the dribble this year. That's Steph Curry kind of shooting, folks. Ibaka had hit 2 threes already off the pick and pop, so it enabled him to shot fake and get into the lane to earn himself 2 free throws. This is the possession Siakam fouls Green on the three-point shot. Let's look how the Celtics got the Raptors scrambling so hard. It was against a zone defense, and a quick pass to the wing gets Van Vliet chasing at a tough angle that allows Green to attack on the catch and get right into the lane. 2 straight closeouts on quick ball movement catches Siakam stepping to the ball, leaving open the easy pass to the corner and ultimately a 4-point play that could have been 5 had they made the technical foul called on Nurse. The Raptors run a floppy set for Powell coming around a double pin down on the right side. Watch how Brown stunts to the ball and gets right back on his man to thwart the penetration. They ice the ball screen by forcing Davis away from Ibaka. Walker is in perfect help position, but they don't need it as Williams deflects the pocket pass into a steal, triggers the fast break, and there isn't much the defense can do as the alley-oop doesn't go down, but the putback sure does. More ice defense in the pick and roll allows Kemba to keep Van Vliet on the right side of the court and right into Williams, who's excellent moving his feet. Watch the weak side as they switch beautifully on the cutter and then scram switch Kemba out of there so he won't have to guard Ibaka in the post. Brown is a step late realizing all of this, and Powell barely misses this open three-pointer. And that brings me to another point. The Raptors generated quite a few open three-pointers that simply missed the target. You have to understand that at the NBA level, with such good shooters, if you allow the guy to catch the ball with this much space and a clear view of the basket, it doesn't matter if there's a contest in the air where the defender's hand ends up touching the shooter's hand. That doesn't tend to affect these guys much at all. So to see so many of these three-pointers given up in the first half, like this foolish gamble by Smart allowing a wide-open shot to a very good shooter. And Serge had hit 2 already. Why is he pump faking? This makes no sense. Helping one pass away like this on a curl for Lowry is just asking to give up a wide open 3 to a good shooter, yet Ibaka couldn't regain his rhythm. The defense got all turned around as no one communicated how they wanted to match up here, and it left Siakam with another open shot when he gets this much space on the catch. And the best three-pointer you can get is off an offensive rebound, and Powell is even more wide open but can't get it to go in. The Celtics are in a 2-3 zone on this possession, and Jayson Tatum loses track of his area as Siakam gets to the corner with 15 feet of space on the catch, but he was all out of sorts at this point and misses the open shot. Gasol is a decent shooter from back behind the arc, and they catch Tice under the hoop below the dotted line when Gasol catches the ball, yet this one just misses short. On the scramble for the offensive rebound, the Raptors find Lowry for an open shot and misses this one short as well. You might think this is a contested 3 because Brown flies by, but look at the distance between the two when VanVleet catches the ball, and then how much room he still has on the release. Let's face it, the Celtics played with fire, and somehow they didn't get burned. And that brings us to the end of this big run by Boston in the first. They enter the ball to the high post twice, then run a split between Brown and Walker at the right wing. Anunoby and Powell do not communicate. They both go with the cutter, and it leaves Walker open with over 8 feet of space as he begins the shot, and that's all he needs to extend the lead to 18. Out of horns, the Celtics flare Tatum off of the Williams screen to the left wing. Watch how a simple jump stop hesitation gets Anunoby jumping out of his way, and a strong mid-range pull-up extends the lead. And at the end of the half, for no real reason at all, VanVleet jumps to the ball handler off his man 1 pass away in the corner, despite Serge being in perfect position. This leads to an easy pass and an easy shot, and the Raptors never recovered. So I anticipate some of these missed shots falling to the Raptors, giving us a much better contest in Game 2. And the Celtics were able to cover up some of their warts with the great shooting, mainly their 22 turnovers, and some of them being the completely head-scratching kind. Yikes. This series will surely go 7 games, with plenty of ups and downs, to the point where I'm not sure anymore of anything when these two play. I'm still leaning towards the Raptors winning this series because of their depth, but let's wait and see what happens tomorrow in Game 2. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more playoff breakdowns coming up. We'll have at least one a day during the postseason, so turn on those notifications so you can be alerted right away. You in?